I told you, this thing is bigger than Nino Brown, and I got a list of proof.
Order.
If I'm going down,
Order
I'm taking a whole lot of people with me.
Order in the court.
Nino Brown Boxing, and I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. All right, guys. So I saw a recent interview with Chris Eubank Jr. He's speaking on his next fight with Matt Korobov, and he wants to fight Jermall Charlo. I feel like this is an ideal situation for both of these guys. I say that because Chris Eubank's fighting Matt Korobov is a great test for him overall, even with Jermall Charlo not being in the picture. But considering the fact that that is a previous opponent of Jermall, it's definitely a good setup fight for this for Jermall in the future if Chris Eubanks can get past Matt Korobov. Now, I personally believe that Chris Eubanks can. Chris Eubanks is coming from 168, dropping down to 160. He said this is natural weight, so he should definitely be a lot more comfortable. Now, with the time that he has spent up at 168, fighting guys like George Groves, that was his only loss at 168, fighting up there against nationally bigger guys, and him being forced to rely more on skill rather than just being reckless in the ring and going off raw talent, it definitely has improved Chris Eubank. Now, with that being said, you have this matchup with Matt Korobov, and I'm not looking past Matt Korobov at all, but my interest in this is talking about Jermall Charlo and Chris Eubank if that fight was to happen. Now, Jermall Charlo is one of my favorite fighters. I know a lot of people would beg to differ, but I'm this type of person where I like for my guys to fight tough fights. Prime example, Jarrett Hurd. Jarrett Hurd lost. Jarrett had tough fight after tough fight, fighting guys that are stylistic nightmare for him, and he fought them. I wanted Jarrett Hurd to have an immediate rematch with Julian J. Rock Williams. I don't care if my guy takes a loss. I want my fighter in the best fights. That's how Nino Brown. That's the type of boxing fan that Nino Brown boxing is. Plain and simple. With that being said, it's like, well, I said it to say a lot of people believe that I don't like the Charlos, and that's not the case. Jermall Charlo, he is in a different situation than his brother. Obviously, he's in a situation where he's unable to get fights, but I always call bullshit on that. Like, yeah, I understand that Canelo was over at the Zone, and Andre's over at the Zone, and all these guys are over at the Zone, but I look at it like this. If Jermall isn't going to actually go over to the Zone, then you got to find another route. Just sitting around fighting the fucking Dennis Hogans of the world, for me, it's not going to cut it. I guess I'm not like my fellow other boxing fan. I'm not going to accept bullshit. I want entertainment. It's plain and simple. So, this Eubanks fight is definitely a great opportunity for Jermall to step up his class of opponent. Considering the fact that Eubanks is coming down from 168, he's had plenty of experience fighting guys that are bigger than him, naturally, more powerful than him. He's been in the ring with guys naturally bigger than Jermall Charlo when it comes to these weight classes. I feel like it definitely will put a lot of things in for. It would expose a lot of this narrative when it comes to both of these guys. When I was a few years back, it was a lot of talk about how Chris Eubank was expected to be extremely great. Well, this is his opportunity. A lot of people now believe that Jermall Charlo is already great. Well, this is his opportunity to prove it. And I want these guys to clash. I feel like they had the type of style where it'll be an exciting fight. And the thing that I'm interested to see is which one of these guys will change up their style in this fight, or if anyone would change their style at all. And what I mean by that is, remember how like Triple G, when he fought David Lemieux, he changed up his style because David Lemieux's a big puncher. He became a boxer. Well, we all know that Jermall Charlo, he goes for the knockout. Chris Eubank, he goes for the knockout. And I'm just interested to see if either one of these guys will change up their style and become an outboxer in this fight. And I mean, at the end of the day, it's boxing, I understand, but the reputation that surrounds your name is, like, I mean, you destroy guys. And Jermall Charlo in his last 2 fights at 160, he hasn't been able to get Brandon Adams out of there, a guy that's a natural 154-pounder, and Matt Korobov out. And we all know Chris Eubank, I mean, he's taken 2 losses already in his career. One to George Groves at 168, and a split decision loss to Billy Joe Saunders back at 160. So this is a good opportunity for both of these guys. I understand, once again, that Chris Eubanks has to get past Matt Korobov first. I believe he will. I believe his time at 168 has conditioned him to get over this obstacle. But we'll see how everything plays out. I want to hear Jermall Charlo's take on this, even though he has a fight coming up with Dennis Hogan in December. Like I said, a fight that I do not approve of. Some people may say, some people feel like Jermall can fight whoever he wants because he's being ducked. I don't agree with that shit at all. I think that's bullshit. Devin Haney, he was just ducked. The 20-year-old Devin Haney was just ducked by Lomachenko. And Devin Haney is not keeping the energy that he can, just fight some bum here and some bum there. No. If Devin Haney is not doing it, Jermall Charlo shouldn't do that shit either. It's ways around it. It's opponents to find. It's people that are a weight class above you that have the ability to come down to your weight because that's their more natural weight. Or you can move up, whatever the case may be. You can make that shit happen. If Chris Eubanks can go up to 168, Jermall Charlo, he can go up to 168 as well and find an opponent. But guess what? No need for that shit now. Chris Eubanks called him out. Now let's see what happens. I understand, like, if it was me personally, if I'm Jermall, I'm not worried about Chris Eubanks right now. I have Dennis Hogan in front of me, and even though Dennis Hogan is, I'm not going to say like he's no threat, but when it comes to the power department, he's definitely minimal threat. And he's going to need to focus on the guy that he has in front of him first. After he handles that business, I'm jumping all over the Eubank situation. It's Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC, and I'm out.